Alright, today I'm in my Omni V2s with my Create Original frames. I'm using the smalls this time. I only ever tried the large Create Original frames and I immediately felt like they were too long, and then I just went back to my Kizer Fluid 4s and forgot about it. But then I remembered. I have Create Originals in a small, which in some of my previous boots felt way too small, but I lined them up on the medium Omni V2 and they feel great. I can still see the wheel, about half the wheel popping out of the front, so it's not too small, and turning feels greatly improved. I love a short anti-rocker frame for turning. It feels so much better. Just feel more nimble. A little bit harder to land fakie, but not a huge difference. With that being said, today is probably what I'd call a maintenance session, where I'm just gonna go through basically all my tricks, try to land them nice and smooth, not try anything too different. Although I might give my right foot top sides a try on the angle iron. The sledge feels really good for locking in top side on the angle iron side. Obviously the angle iron is 2 inches lower than the PVC coping on the other side, so it's just a bit easier to jump up there. Not a huge difference, but for locking in top sides, I need to jump way over the obstacle, which I struggle to do the taller something is. I actually already warmed up, but I'm gonna put this part in the beginning, because as soon as I got here, there was a little kid that wanted to watch me skate. I could hear him talking to his dad. They went up to me and asked a bunch of questions while I was getting ready. And then his dad was like, all right, you ready to go for a walk? And he was like, nope, I wanna watch him skate. So I was like, all right, let's get out there. I did some tricks for him. I definitely notice a big difference in how my front foot locks in on most tricks. The anti-rocker doesn't stick out as much on the Create Originals, and on the Kizer Fluid 4s, they stick out quite a bit. So it kind of hooks onto the ledge way more. This has more wheel bite protection, and I can safely slide on the side of the frame way easier, but it just kind of changes the balance. With the Kizer Fluid 4s, I'm more on the edges of the grooves, and with the Create Originals, I'm more centered in the groove, but I'm on the side of the frame wall because it's so thick. So when I go to plant my foot to jump out in 270 from backside unity, I don't really have the stability in my front foot. I go to press it down and it kind of slips out. But just little differences. Not a huge difference, but definitely matters. So the Create Originals definitely feel a little bit harder to lock on for top sides, just because the frame rides a bit lower. So I just have to change my approach a little bit, just a few millimeters in one direction or the other. I'm gonna do 3 more and then we'll move on. I need to dedicate a few sessions to Royales. I'm getting worse and worse at them because I'm not putting any practice into them. Royales is the only trick that come and go depending on my setup. Need to bend my knees more. All right, I got it right now. 3 more fully hearted attempts. All right, this is my 4th day skating in a row. My legs are getting kind of weak. I can feel the lack of effort. I'd like to get a sole grind to back torque and an acid grind to back torque, but I wanted to do it on the Inline. This thing doesn't really slide for soles, but I'm gonna try it anyway. There it is, I did it. I'm happy with those. Good session today. I need a day off. Tomorrow I'm probably gonna come here and fix my small coping box so I can start learning new tricks on it. All right, well, I'm done with the first session in my Omni V2s with the small Create Original frames. As I said before, I only ever used this setup with the longer, large Create Originals, which felt too big for this setup, even though they feel perfect for all my other boots. This is probably my tightest boot in terms of the length. My toes are right up at the front, but it feels great. So it like fits my foot perfectly and has tons of flex. So that means when I put my smaller Create Original frames on, they're like the perfect length. The wheels stick out about halfway on the front, maybe only a tiny bit on the back, but I feel super balanced. I didn't feel like I was falling forward or falling backwards a lot. When I use these frames on my longer boots, I do feel like I'm kind of tiptoeing back and forth, but it felt super stable on these. I'm also a better skater than when I used to use these. I mostly used these frames on my factions probably 6 months ago. But man, they felt really good today. A little bit harder to lock into like groove tricks, but not that much harder. I just had to get on top of stuff more, which is better because I'm gonna get my tricks looking a little bit better with these frames. Top side felt great. Felt like I slid a lot better even when I was going slow. Switch ups always feel the best in Create Originals because of the way the groove is. It doesn't point out a lot. Like the edges of the groove, once you wear it in, freely moves from the H block to the sole plate. But when you're in the Kizer Fluid 4s, it kind of has like a bump from the anti-rocker sticking out so far. But you don't really feel that bump in the Creates because the wheels are set in further. I am pretty disappointed how my Royales have been regressing. I understand why they're regressing. It's because I'm not working on them very much. I just get one and then I'm happy with it. I need to start my next session, warm up, and go straight into Royales. I might go to a street ledge or an angle iron ledge at a skate park and just do nothing but Royales next session. Maybe nothing but Royales and groove tricks in general, just to get more and more on top of them. I feel like my Favs and my back unities looked a lot better today, but we'll see. With that being said, this is definitely one of my favorite setups right now. By far my favorite boot. The only thing I changed about this is I want a white Omni V2. Peace.